بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. صلى الله عليك يا سيدي ويا مولاي يا رسول الله. صلى الله عليك وعلى أهل بيتك الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين. صلى الله عليك يا سيدي ويا مولاي يا أبا عبد الله يا رحمة الله الواسعة ويا باب نجاة الأمة، غريب يا مظلوم كربلا. روحي وأرواح العالمين لك الفداء، وقل الفداء يا ليتنا كنا معكم سيدي فنفوز فوزا عظيما. اللهم ارزقنا شفاعة الحسين يوم الورود، وثبت لنا قدم صدق مع الحسين وأصحاب الحسين الذين بذلوا مهجهم دون الحسين عليه السلام. My respect, brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. One of the ignored realities in our life is death. And every single person of us has a day that he needs to take this journey, to one-way ticket journey, to has a departure from this life. And this is what we call it, death. So, death comes, doesn't matter if we are ready or not. Death comes, doesn't matter if we are prepared for it or not. It comes, doesn't matter if you already packed your bags or not. It's unpredictable visitor. No one knows when and where he will leave this life. So, in a Quranic perspective, Allah Azza wa Jal says, "Kullu nafsin dha'iqatul maut." Every single soul, and this is without an exception, of course, every single soul shall test death one day. And from the Quranic conception and from the hadith of the Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi and Ahl al-Bayt, peace be upon them, death is not the end. My dear respected brothers, death is just a bridge that takes you from this side to the other side. And life is this bridge. Sometimes when we have a road trip, you may see a view on a bridge. You would like to stop and, take your time, enjoy your eyes and with this nice view. But it's just a bridge. No one gonna bring his furniture, his bed, and stay on the bridge because he likes the view. The goal is going from this end, from A to B. Life, dunya, is not a homeland. It's just a test room. Just like when you do a test in your classroom, this is life. When the time is up, we're done. But throughout the hadith of Rasulullah and Ahl al-Bayt, they give us a different outlook about death. Like we are get together again on 9th of Muharram for the sake of Imam Hussein, and he has a very beautiful saying, لا أرى الموت إلا سعادة. That death, that the thing that people are scared of talking about it. When people talking about death, a lot of people, they scared. They said, just change the subject, right? Imam Hussein said, لا أرى الموت إلا سعادة. Death is just happiness. And from their own perspective, this is how Allah Azza wa Jal make the sunnah in this dunya. If you live as much as you could, there should be a one day that you are departing this life. I was looking for the oldest person in 2025, and I found out there's this female from UK. Her age is 116 years. That's it. Maybe she may stay in this life for another 1 or 2 years. Maybe she said she will stay till like 120. But what else? After that, the grave. So, staying forever is not an option. Stay forever in this life is not an option. So, when we go through the story of Ashura, and Imam Hussein, peace be upon him, get killed on the 10th of month of Muharram. When that happened? 14 centuries ago. But some of them, they thought he's dead. But when we get together now and remember his story and what happened to him, that means he's still alive. Imam Hussein alayhi salam, he's alive more than you and me. Because even the live people cannot bring all this crowd all over the world right now. No one at all, not even billionaires or presidents or whoever, can get all the people from their houses, bring their families and their kids, leave whatever work and house and everything behind their backs and come over to the majlis. Give me one person in this life has this amount of love. So that's a big sign of he's not just alive, but in the ziyarah, بحياتك أحييت المؤمنين, ما مؤدى الزيارة. So Imam Hussein, he's not just alive, he's give us a life. Without Imam Hussein, we are nothing. Without his blood, there is no Islam at all. So Allah Azza wa Jal in the verse of Quran said, وَلَا تَحْسَبَنَّ الَّذِينَ قُتُلُوا فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ أَمْوَاتًا بَلْ أَحْيَاءٌ عِنْدَ رَبِّهِمْ يُرْزَقُونَ. Do not consider those who killed for the sake of Allah are dead. They are alive. Because the proof that they are alive, every year we get together, we have this huge event in all over the world. Every place that has mu'mineen and the follower of Ahl al-Bayt, you will find these majalis. So this is something not easy for anyone to gain except Imam Hussein alayhi salam. So Imam Hussein, when he decided to leave Mecca, he had a speech in front of the people, and he said, خط الموت على ولد آدم مخط القلادة على جيد الفتاة. He describing the death as a خط الموت على ولد آدم, as a necklace on the neck of a lady. That means there is no way to escape from it. Death is something gonna happen for sure. Because is there anyone here or somewhere else in this life had chose the time that he comes to life? No one. Same thing. No one has the choice to put a time on his calendar when he's ready to go and leave this life. So this is something being written in Allah's records. He decided when you're gonna be born in this life and when you are departing. وَمَا تَدْرِي نَفْسٌ بِأَيِّ أَرْضٍ تَمُوتُ. No one knows in which city, in which town, in which country, and what time you're gonna die. There's this story that mentioned in the Quran about the Prophet Sulaiman, alayhi wa ala nabiyyina ala at-tahiyya was-salam. The Prophet Sulaiman has a control not even on the human, even on jinn and animals. So he was building up his palace. He was busy with the constructions, and he was leaned on his king. Everything was going well, everything was working hard, and he was looking over on them. Suddenly, angel of death showed up, and the Prophet Sulaiman asked him, "Who gave you a permission to enter?" And he replied, "I need no permission from no one." The angel of death can show up at any time, any place, even with the Prophet. So, as if he was standing and leaning on his king, he asked him, "If you want to take out my soul, let me sit down." He said, "No. I've been commanded by Allah to take your soul right now." And then he said, "Let me lay down or sleep or something, then you can take my soul." He said, "No, this is not an option." So when he took his soul out, so he's dead, but he was still standing. Nobody knows that he's dead until Allah sent a termite. This is a tiny insect, the termite. نسميها الأرض أو الأثة. The termite eats the end of his stick, so he falls down. Then his kingdom find out that he's dead. So no one knows when and where this journey is going to be started, the chapter 2 of your journey. Because life, it's going to be end one day, then you have another life, the afterlife. So, bottom line of this speech is death is basically the separation of the soul out of your body. Once the nafs comes out of your body, that means this body is lifeless. That means he's dead. Before the soul separated from the body, there is a very difficult moment. They call it al-ihtidar. Al-ihtidar means you will see everything. حاضر يعني. You will have a flashback of your entire life. You will see your journey from your baby steps till this end. It's going to be very short. Doesn't matter if you live 90, 80, 100 years. It's going to be blank of eye. كرمشة عين. You will see flashback of all your life. Your career, your kids, your house, your cars, everything. So an ihtidar, it's very critical and difficult moment. And we have a hadith that said it's mustahab to do some dua. It's called dua al-adila, because shaitan is going to be waiting for this moment when it's going to be hard for you to live this life. You're going to be thirsty. You're going to be grabbing in any hope that you can stay for any longer in this life. Also, always, every time you do your prayer, your fire prayer, keep in your dua asking Allah and the Prophet and his whole holy family for the good ending, for husnul aqibah. Because right now we are sitting in this majalis, Barakat Abi Abdullah al-Hussein, but we don't know what's going to happen 1 year later, right? That's why we keep dua to stay on this trial, on this path, on the path of Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad. So always ask Allah for the positive ending, the good ending, for husnul aqibah. Also, in this hard and difficult moments, the reality, it's going to be in front of you. We have in the hadith of text of Ahl al-Bayt that mu'mineen, al-muwalin, those who loves the Prophet and his family and they follow their footsteps, they following them, they are loyal Shia, they will see the Prophet Muhammad and his cousin Amir al-Mu'mineen and the other A'imma. That's just for the Mu'mineen. That's something confirmed in our books. I think in Al-Kafi, one of our authentic books, that mentioned this, that whoever loves the Prophet and his family and follow them, he will see the Prophet and Amir al-Mu'mineen and the Lady Fatima and other Ma'sumeen. They will telling him, come over for much better than what you leave behind you. Anything you have in this dunya, we have much better here. وَلَلْآخِرَةُ خَيْرٌ لَكَ مِنَ الْأُولَى. So if you see the Prophet and Amir al-Mu'mineen and the Lady Fatima, peace be upon her, and Al-Hasan wal-Hussein, and the rest of the 12 Imam, and they are telling you, come over, and we guarantee you a place is much better than your life, would you refuse this offer? Imam al-Sadiq alayhi salam يقول, he says about the verse of Quran, إن الذين آمنوا وكانوا يتقون لهم البشرى في الحياة الدنيا وفي الآخرة. رحم الله من ذكر القائم فقام. قيام أخوان. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. النور والإيمان بقلب من صلى على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. Imam al-Sadiq, my dear brothers, give us an interpretation for this verse of Quran. الذين آمنوا وكانوا يتقون لهم البشرى في الحياة الدنيا. Someone is asking, when I get the good news? All this life is just test and suffering, and there is no good news. Always it's bad news. And the Quran, Allah says, لهم البشرى في الحياة الدنيا. Bushra means the good news. When we will get this good news? And Imam Sadiq, peace be upon him, said, they will receive this good news on this moment, when they are in their last minutes of life. That's why we have a new outlook for death, especially in Karbala. Imam Hussein alayhi salam, he was asking his nephew Al-Qasim, and he was just a teenager, like he was 13 years old. He was asking him, بني قاسم كيف تجد طعم الموت? Oh my son Qasim, how do you find death? It's not an easy question. Death is something scary, and he's just 13 years old. بني قاسم كيف تجد الموت? If I'm asking you right now, what is the sweetest natural thing? If I'm asking what is the natural sweet thing, the first thing gonna cross over your mind is honey, right? Al-Qasim said, death for the sake of you, Abu Abdullah, sweeter than honey. Al-mawtu ahla min al-asal dunaka ya Abu Abdullah. See, this is one of the big lessons that Al-Hussein alayhi salam given us throughout a teenager, 13 years old, his nephew Al-Qasim, son of Al-Imam Al-Hassan, peace be upon them. We have some steps before I leave this subject. There is some necessary steps. As we live in the Western countries, it is different than our countries back home. There is some steps needs to be taken place whenever someone is dying. So there's something in the fiqh, in the Islamic point of view, fiqh, for the one that just died. These steps is an obligation. They call it wajib kifa'i. So it's an obligation on every one of us. But once someone is volunteering, it's not going to be obligation anymore. It's just like a response to someone said Salaam alaikum. If we are sitting like 50 people are sitting here, no one is answering him, everybody is sitting here is ma'thum. He's gonna committed a sin. That's an ithm. But if out of these 50 people, if someone is replied and said wa alaikum salam, that's it. So he being responsible to be behalf of everybody else. So wajib kifa'i it's an obligation upon everybody of us. But if somebody volunteering, that's gonna take the responsibility from everybody else. So these steps is when someone's died, first thing, the dead body needs to be washed. So we usually washing our bodies. Like we have some preferable mustahab, like غسل الجمعة. There is a hadith where Amir al-Mu'mineen, he says, اغتسل غسل الجمعة ولو بقوت عيالك. It's just emphasizing to pushing people to do غسل الجمعة, even with the money that you're going to buy food for your kids. Just encouraging people. We have many aghsal, that's mustahab. But the ironic is, instead of you washing your body, somebody else gotta washing your body. So this deceased body gonna be taken to the muhtasal, and someone gotta do the process of washing the body. Of course, all the clothes should be ripped off. Doesn't matter if they are like Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Versace, all these gonna be rip off the body and do the washing. Step 2, this dead body needs to be shrouded with kafan. So it's also in the hadith, it's mustahab to have your own kafan even you are still alive. Don't wait someone else to buy you a kafan. Always make sure you have your own kafan in your closet. Is it mustahab? It's also mustahab to have it being written some ziyarat ashura or other ad'iyah. الجوشن الكبير أحسنت حجينا الجوشن الكبير وزيارة عاشوراء. I still remember Amir al-Mu'mineen by miracle come over to do ghasl and takfeen for Salman al-Muhammadi in al-Madain, on like out of Baghdad. He was a governor over there. When he passed away, Amir al-Mu'mineen in a miracle come over and wrote on his kafan these two nice poetry words. The words is قدمت على الكريم بغير زاد من الحسنات والقلب السليم وحمل الزاد أقبح كل شيء إذا كان الوفود على الكريم. That's a huge amount of mercy of Allah. He said, when you go to the generous person, it is a shame to take food with you. قدمت إلى الكريم بغير زاد. Doesn't make sense to go to the restaurant and you take food with you. قدمت إلى الكريم بغير زاد من الحسنات والقلب السليم وحمل الزاد أقبح كل شيء إذا كان الوفود على الكريم. So after that, after these two steps, the third step is Salat al-Mayyit. This Salat, it's different from our regular Salat. Salat al-Mayyit, it's different. I'm not sure if some of you have attended this kind of Salat, but it is different. There is no ruku', no sujood, not even a wudu. And there is no adhan and iqamah. And the reason for there is no adhan and iqamah because you have it already when you're born. One of the highly recommended mustahab for the newborn baby to do adhan in his right ear and do iqamah in his left ear. So you already have them, adhan and iqamah. And between the adhan and iqamah in your ear when you are on your day 1 till they do this, it's a blank of eye. Ramshat ain. And life is over. Your time is up. The fourth thing is, after we did all these salah and everything, this dead body gonna be taken by family members, by close friends, by relatives to the graveyard, and they're gonna put him in a grave. وَمِنْهَا خَلَقْنَاكُمْ وَفِيهَا نُعِيدَكُمْ. So from dust to dust, from ash to ash, from clay, from dirt to dirt. And that's the thing that attending these majalis and following Ahl al-Bayt is the only light is going to be in your grave. So there's no electricity up there. You're going to be, me and you and everybody else, sooner or later, we're going to be 6 feet underground. It's going to be dark. And in a few seconds, you will lose all your lovable stuff, belongs. You will, even if you live in a huge mansion and have luxury cars and a high, like 6 figures payment or salary, and in a period of seconds, everything will be over. And we have in the hadith that 3 friends are following you. One of them, it's your money. So your money is your friend in life. You can go vacations, spend some of this money on your fancy stuff. But the time that the soul leaves the body, the money is going to be nothing, can do nothing for you. So the first friend, he's your wealth, your money. He's the first one who's going to leave you so fast. The second friend is your family, your relatives, your close friends. They will go to the hospital, they will take the dead body to the muhtasal, they do salah, they took you to the grave, but no, not anymore. No longer than this level. That to this point, their job is done. The third friend, the only loyal friend is going to stay with you is your good deeds, a'mal. So always, with the tawfiq of Allah, always remember, we are investing in this life, but not in Robin Hood or Bitcoins or other stuff. We are investing in our a'mal. Because once we departure from this life, there's no more a'mal will be accepted. So talking about this topic might take longer, but I don't want to steal other sheikh and other servant of Imam al-Hussein time. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. وارزقنا شفاعة الحسين يوم الورود وثبت لنا قدم صدق مع الحسين وأصحاب الحسين الذين بذلوا مهجهم دون الحسين عليه السلام. ثبتنا الله وإياكم على القول الثابت على ولاية محمد وآل محمد.